Hello everybody, welcome back once again. clipsvh here as always, and we're back in E's Origin, and I'm still playing as Hugo. When we left off, we fought the mid-boss of the third tier of the tower. Turned out to be Hugo's brother. After that, I still have not used these self-setting pancakes. Huh. Anyway, after that, Hugo decided it would be a good idea to piss everybody off, so he did that. Anyhow, we're gonna move on. So, just beyond this little area where we fought Toll, there's a little space we can go to. Not so much a space, but there's another section we can get to. And we gotta fight these little guys first. Yeah, it doesn't. Pick up all these little SPs. It's all good. And that was embarrassing. But it was Hugo, so it's not embarrassing to me. I think I might be a little too hard on Hugo right now. Gotta save it for later. I mean, to be fair, he hasn't, I mean, you know, he's speaking, he's being a little bit of a jerk, you know, like mostly just angsty anime man, but, you know, he hasn't done anything really bad yet, you know? Maybe I'm being too hard on him. Hugo, where are you going with this? What are you doing? This guy is Saltova, and he's Unika's father. God damn it, Hugo! Guy's trying to help you out. And now you're insulting him. Hugo, that's not your sword. You wanna know whose sword that is? She just arrived in the tower. Stop it. Hugo, no, stop. Can you even swing a sword, Hugo? So now we have a new attack, new element. No, you don't try to have an epiphany now. It's too late. You already did it. Oh, you can feel the angst in that ellipsis. Damn, Hugo is such a jerk. Why does he get all the girls? Yeah, Hugo, new powers, and they're not even yours. You stole them. This is one of the reasons I hate Hugo. Partly because I played as Unica first, so I kind of know that's her sword. The idea is that when you find the sword as Unica, Saltova's spirit still comes and he talks to her and tells her all about how he's proud of her, and his only regret is that he still doesn't get to see the future of Ys and her future unfold. And the mid-boss for this section, when you play as Unica, is also Kishkol instead of Toll. And he is revealed as a man who killed Saltova. And when Unica talks to him, he pretty much just confirms that. He also tells her to take his sword because, you know, it's pretty much her birthright. And she also followed in his footsteps and became a knight. So she was going to get it eventually, so then she gets to use the sword. And when she uses it, it's kind of cool because she shoots friggin' phoenixes out of it, and that gives her a range attack. When Hugo uses it, this is all he can do. Alright, so we're going to save here. So we gotta use our fire element to light all these torches, and that'll raise these platforms here. I thought I missed that for a second. There's another chest right down here, and I'm gonna get that. We get topaz, so we get our trap mine. So now we're seeing a new enemy type at least. So these big guys, they're gonna just try to smash us. Their attack is pretty easy to avoid, so they're not too big a deal. Alright, so I want to ride this platform back up here. There's a couple torches we need to light this time. Now, there's that platform, and there's another torch down here. Not at the bottom, but down this way, there's another one we have to light. And now we can advance further. Alright, so now you see I wasn't lying when I said that this level is where things start to really pick up a bit more. I also may or may not have mentioned, I can't remember, but this is also where Hugo starts becoming a little bit douchier. And also the fact that we now know that Toll is his brother. If we played as Unica, we'd see Toll on occasion, but we'd never really learn anything about him. And while I like Unica more than Hugo, I like Hugo's story more than Unica's because she's got a nice story and everything. Like, it's great for her. But as far as everything actually happening in the game, she's really kind of kept out of the loop. her story is more like a sort of coming of age thing for her, whereas Hugo and Toll's stories are more like the kind of thing that it's them dealing with everything going on. Alright, so I passed by this bit right here. There's some kind of weird noise coming out of that. We can actually talk to it. And we can now know that there's a strange and sickening sound coming out of it. That seems kind of weird. So these guys are kind of like the poison guys from the water level, except instead of poison, they spray fire all over us. It's not too hard to avoid, so it's not that big a deal. A lot of the normal monsters aren't really that big of a deal. Until around the middle, like around here and a little later is when they get a little tougher. Alright, so we're going to come up here, we're going to kill this thing. We're going to open this chest, and we got a ruby. And that ruby is going to power up our fire element. Now we can go down here, but there's really nothing for us down here, so there's no reason to do it. Don't just smack me with that. That's not cool. It's rude. Alright, that's another one down. Alright, here we go. We got another save point. So I'm going to save right here. Now let's move on. I mean, it's not like the game could throw anything new at us. Oh, but what is this? There must be some way through, Hugo says. So basically, whenever we come into this part of the tower, or rather this room, we got this music playing, which I guess all the playable characters really hate. That's not really the cause of it, but I'm just going to pretend like it is. So you got barely any health to get over here. And we gotta talk to this Roo, because when we talk to this Roo, we'll give him the road of fruit, and he'll help us out. Give him the road of fruit. And the Roo gives us a hammer. And what we're going to do with this hammer is, well, you'll find out. Anyhow. We got to take this hammer, we got to do something with it. Now, if we're playing as Unica, we don't get a hammer. When we're playing as Unica, when we meet Fina, she gives us her sister's harmonica. And Unica then learns from someone else that she can use a holy song to counteract the demon song that's happening inside that room. So essentially, she uses a counter song with Rhea's harmonica. However, she can't remember the way the song goes. So when she gives the Roo the road of fruit, the Roo teaches her the song. But for Hugo, we gotta do something a little different. And yeah, whatever. I don't got time for you. So you remember here how the sound is kind of leaking out of this pipe? And you notice it looks like it's kind of cracked? Well, that's because we can break it. Yes, we should survey the fruits of our actions. Alright, so when we come back into the corridor now, because one single little pipe is broken, the entirety of the corridor now no longer has the music that Hugo hates. Now, because we're no longer losing health when we're in this room, we can just pretty much just go at our leisure. I keep forgetting that I can just use this force field. I keep thinking it unnecessary. Also because I haven't been using it at all. These guys are really nothing to write home about. They jump and they swing their sword and they hurt you if it lands. It's kind of a shame that Hugo can't listen to the evil magic music, because I genuinely like that track. I think it sounds kind of cool. I like all the music in this game though. This game's got really good music. Come on, you bastards. There you go. Well, these guys just don't want to give me a break, huh? So, among the things that can destroy our force field, aside from a single hit from a monster, different little bits of cutscene. Now, that door right over there is the right way to go, but I don't want to go there. Mostly because there's something else for us to get, and I'd rather not skip it. We acquired a Clarior. Now that's good because we can take that to Rico and power up the wand. Which, you know what? I'm going to do that right now. You know, Rico, I thought you'd have something more pertinent to say, but I guess I was wrong. You're starting to disappoint me, too. Alright, so now that we have a powered-up weapon, enemies are going to be a little easier to take out. And it's going to make the rest of our trek through the tower a little easier. That's another thing I like about this game. Everything pretty much necessary for you to succeed and advance is pretty much right there in front of you. You just gotta, look for it. It doesn't require much searching. You don't have to grind anything. And the cool thing about this game is it's not grindy at all. Like, you never feel like you're under-leveled or anything unless you, kind of go out of your way to, not give the Ruse Rotafruit, or you go out of your way to not get any of the Claria ore. In which case, I guess maybe maybe some people might do that for the challenge of it. It'd make boss fights a bitch when you're only doing 1 damage, though. Alright, so we're gonna jump down here. This area is a little weird. Alright, these are those little variants of the flamin' chickens. And they're harder and a little bit more annoying, mostly because they're not only flamin' chickens, but they're kamikaze chickens. So if we give them a long enough time, they'll explode when they get next to us. That's a Spirit Cape, and that allows us to, if I'm not mistaken, heal while we stand still. Yeah. And we can come down here, and I want to do this first, because if I fall, I'm going to have to come here and deal with all these stupid flaming kamikaze chickens. And I'd rather not deal with them. So I'm going to come down here, kill them all now, and then I'm going to work on the platforming. Also, there's a chest right over here, but we can't get to it. So we're going to have to do some tricky maneuvering to get to that chest. And I goofed up. Isn't that something? Now, funny enough, lava isn't doesn't kill you. Doesn't kill the monsters either, but it kind of takes health away from you little by little. Not like real lava, which would kill you. Anyway, inside that chest was boots, which is good because now we have a little bit more defense. You always want more defense because then the monsters can't do as much damage to you. That's a good thing. You don't want the monsters doing as much damage to you. Alright. Make that guy fall down, that's fine. These guys are done. I haven't been using any skills. And I've got the one useful one now, which is the fire one. There's barely any reason you shouldn't be using fire skill, especially as Hugo. It's kind of like having a shield, except it does more damage than the shield, and, well, it's pretty decent. Look at that. And, for the next 2 tiers, pretty much everything is going to be weak against fire. Not really, but it's going to do well, it won't, not everything will be really weak against fire, but it'll do a decent amount of damage. Break that pot. We got some boost back. Alright, so I'm gonna go through here and... Alright, yeah, fuck you too, kamikaze chicken. Alright, I'm gonna run through here and I'm not gonna pay attention to any of the monsters because we're just gonna end up fighting them in a bit anyway. First thing we gotta do, because if we just fight all these monsters, we're gonna be wasting our time. We gotta come all the way over here, and then we're gonna take this left turn, and we're gonna see this chest, and it's got something we need in it. However, Now all those flames have gone out. If we try to touch this chest, we're gonna... yeah, that's gonna happen. So, all those flames that went out, we have to go and we have to relight them. Also, if we had fought some of these monsters, they would have respawned. So, first place I'm going to go is I'm going to go up here. And break this pot. Now, the reason I'm coming up here first, because I basically want to streamline relighting all these things. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to go to the hardest ones to get to first. That's one. Now when we come here, there's some branching paths. We got two ways we can go. We can go to the left or we can go to the right. And I'm not going to go to the left. Because again, I want to streamline relighting these torches, so I'm going to come to the right. See, if I had gone to the left, I'd go to one of the torches. However, if I went there, I'd have to come all the way back and come here again. But because we got a ruby before, that means I could charge my fire element, and I can light it from here. Unica doesn't need to charge because she pretty much shoots the phoenixes, like, as her basic fire attack, so as her basic fire skill. If she charges it, she gets a giant phoenix, as you already saw. Alright, and within that chest is something else that's going to be good, so we're going to get that. It's another Celset and Pancake. There's one Kamikaze Chicken down, one Red Slime down, another Kamikaze Chicken down. Kamikaze Chicken Maker. Turn that flame on. But we're not done yet. We have one more to get. So I'm just beginning to realize this video is probably going to be the longer one of the longer ones. Probably the longest. Oh well. So now I'm going to fight these guys, because before we would have just been kind of wasting our time. But, you know, we're going to get the cool XP, and now we actually have to go this way. Now, the really cool thing is that when we actually light the last one of these flames, we don't have to worry about actually getting to the chest, because it's going to take us there automatically. And what do we get for our trouble? We get the key to the boss room, the Construct Medallion. We got some guys to fight, but, you know, my eyes of fact are supposed to follow me. These eyes of fact are not following me. Now that we've cleared the way, let us move on. Now we're going to save really quick here. Let's use the Construct Medallion and let's go take on this boss. The music is stopped. It's ominous. There's a big circle of lava, too. It's kind of weird. Dude, I don't care. The way this guy comes out of this lava, that was cool. Alright, now this guy's got a couple moves in his repertoire. He's gonna punch us every so often, and whenever he does that, we want to shoot at him so we can unscrew his hands. He also does a couple different attacks where he leaves his hands out in the open. He has this attack, which kind of reminds me of a kill sat, like a magical version of a kill sat. He'll also vomit up kamikaze chickens. And when we get rid of both of his arms, he'll try to bite us, and then we have to take that opportunity to shoot his eye. I didn't get out of the way in time. Eventually he'll get tired of you and he'll get his hands back. And then we gotta do it all over again. And just like the other two bosses, the lower his health gets, the more he starts to mix things up a bit. Now you want to make sure you don't get hit by him, because when you do, he'll kind of knock you down on your ass and you gotta wait to get up, and you're gonna have less chance to actually do the damage you want to do to him. So dashing all the time and using that dash and attack method I was talking about before, highly recommended. Of course I didn't use it there, but hey, do as I say, not as I do. So now when he smashes some of these platforms down, some of them are not going to come back up. He's starting to mix it up already, but he is at like half health. I don't know how that worked. He was supposed to follow us with that hand, and we had to run away from it, but I guess I got a lucky shot in and it fell off. I actually really like this boss fight. The fact that the boss music in this game is great also goes a long way towards helping that. And managed to... There we go. And he's vomited a kamikaze chicken. And now he's sick of me and he wants to get his hands back. You know, guy, you could just not, you know? You don't need your hands. You've displayed clear ability to kick my ass without your hands. And here's his kill sat attack. And I got stuck in between two of those, so there wasn't really a whole lot I could do. And hopefully this last bit should do it. Oh, come on, man. All I needed was one more hit, and you couldn't just take one for the team, could you? Now you gotta make a kamikaze chicken to chase me, and you can't just bite. Just do it. There we go. He's also got a hell of a long neck. Alright, we're on our way. It's time to move on to the next tier, but not before we have a little cutscene. Hugo, you're not supposed to get all flustered when you're trying to kill a guy. No, he doesn't. He's a piece of shit who steals other people's things. Let's not look at each other when we talk. No, I'm Hugo Fact, and I can beat you so bad, Todd. Play me in Mario Kart. Anyhow, moving on, we go to the next tier of the tower. Gonna activate the statue. Now I'm gonna save. And that's all we got for now. So I'll see you all next time.